Michigan State 81, Indiana 60 in a throwback Michigan State victory that felt an awful lot like last year down the stretch of this game. Before we get into it all, we're brought to you by Tinker Coffee. Before we get in to the Tinker Coffee, Cart, the floor is yours. You told me this was coming. A train done came. What did you see last night?
Rite of passage. Rite of passage. That's really all it is. It has nothing to do with, anything that I think I don't really know if there's anything Darren DeVries could have done in this one. It's just rite of passage. We're gonna welcome you. The Breslin Center is different. Um, you think you know about it till you actually play there. The Izone was back, first game back. I mean, right away, guys on Indiana were stepping out of bounds. They were dribbling off their foot. They did battle for a good amount of time, but eventually, the cream rose to the top in this one, whatever that phrase is, I must say. But yeah, this ain't assembly. This ain't Chicago State either, for what it's worth. This also ain't Rupp. I saw someone bring it up on the broadcast last night. Like, yeah, they played an away game at Rupp. This year's Rupp. This year's Rupp's like playing at Evanston, respectfully. So, yeah, it's just different. It happens. I wouldn't even feel bad about it, to be honest with you. Good result for Indiana.
That's crazy disrespectful in so many different moments in that sentence, but I love the energy. Congratulations on your win. You said you think you know about it until you get there and you find out you don't know about it. That's how I felt about Tinker Coffee for what it's worth. I thought I knew what it was. I thought it would just be another coffee brand, quite frankly. And then it showed up at my doorstep. I set up a recurring order. It sends me coffee once a month. And it's just the best coffee in the Midwest. Truly, it legitimately is. We are doing this ad read, but it is honest. Like, strap me to a lie detector test. I love their coffee, and you will too. Card, tell them more, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's just great coffee straight up. It smells great. It tastes great. The packaging is great. What is, you know what? We're not going any further. Why would the Zing blend be facing away?
The Zing blend's a little trickster. Have you noticed that?
You know what? If you take your eyes off it for a little bit, it'll get away from you. I'm watching you, buddy. Don't you worry about that. But nah, great coffee, great people, great company. Honestly, I saw someone respond yesterday saying like, "Could I?"
we, we don't know the people. What are we talking about?
Yeah, but listen, yesterday on Twitter, someone was like, "Hey, can I get Tinker delivered to the West?" And Tinker Coffee was right there within 10 seconds. I thought they were a bot damn near how
Yeah,
fast they responded. Great people, great companies. Get yourself a Tinker Coffee.
they are extremely responsive. I had somebody in the Discord placed an order and accidentally forgot to enter the promo code and
Hmm.
then tagged us over Christmas break and was just like, "Hey, I want you guys to get credit for this. Should I message them? Like, I'm really sorry." And I was like, "Just shoot them a message. We'll see." And I guess Tinker took care of it right away. So I think you're right. They are like great customer service. I'm just dying at you being like great people. We couldn't tell you the name of a person at Tinker.
Hmm. Hmm.
But great people and great coffee, the Midwest best. Let's get to the recap. Michigan State 81, Indiana 60. Jeremy Fears, masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. This is everything I have wanted to see from him, and I think why I've been so deliberately angry that he doesn't just play like this, because this was the first game I thought truly of his career where he was this effective, but also playing through contact. Like,
Hmm.
it just, there was no little tint at all in this game of playing for calls and being fixated on the officials and, kind of forcing your way to the free throw line. This was just a good old fashioned dominant game from your point guard. 23 points on 14 shot attempts. He did attempt six threes, and Izzo had a comment after that was interesting. We're going to do a short on about maybe not settling for the threes, but he was 7 for 8 from inside the arc. He got to the free throw line 8 times and made six of them. And I got to be completely real about it. Thought he earned every trip to the line in this game.
Hmm.
It was real. It was like he got calls he deserved, not trying to sneak calls he didn't deserve. 10 assists to 3 turnovers. I mean, dog, we're a week removed from Braden Smith spit out what, 26 and 14.
Hmm.
And I said that was the best point guard performance I've ever seen.
Hmm.
Still feel that way. But if Jeremy Fears is chasing down Braden's assist record one day, He did his best Braden Smith impression in this game with 23 points and 10 assists to 3 turnovers. I was amazed by what he did. My question to you is, where did this come from?
You know what? I can't really even pinpoint where it came from, but to your point, it was perfect. It was truly perfect. Don't even care about the 1 for 6 from three. I really don't. Just because he was pushing the pace, he was getting to the basket. It was the first time I can remember, and I'm gonna say first time this year, it might not be, but the first time in recent memory that I feel like he was decisive. He got to the basket, he finished, he used his body. He's a lot stronger than you give him credit for. So like he was bodying guys on Indiana, whether it was Enright, Conaway, whoever it really was on him. He was able to use his strength and finish at the basket. And it was an incredible performance, man, pushing the pace and transition. And you know what? Instead of trying to find the nearest guy to run into his back, he just went and go laid it up. And I was like, oh, this is amazing to watch. The best Jeremy Fears performance that I have seen at his time in Michigan State, for sure.
I think it's the best game of his career.
Yeah,
Like,
I truly think the first half was stupid.
and I mean, I'm sure he had great like high school games, and he was, big time recruit, everything. Like, I know this kid has a resume, but like, I don't think it's crazy given what he has shown in 2.25 seasons in a Michigan State uniform now. Um, like he's never played like that, and he's shown moments of it, but it's like we always talk about it kind of, even within a game, there's a roller coaster with Fears where he'll do this for half a game and then kind of disappear for the other half, or just revert to his foul baiting ways at times. This was perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect. And this is why I feel like it's fair to demand more of this from him, because he is capable. I don't know that we've ever denied the fact that he's capable. Nothing about this performance was a fluke. Nothing about this performance, just individually from Fears, was, out of the ordinary, even other than the fact that I just feel he was mentally tougher and more aggressive. And, it wasn't like, oh, he hit 4 threes. Can he do that again? He can do these things every game, every single game. And I hope he does, because if he does, number one, your team's way better for it. Way, 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 way better for it. Number two, he'll get accolades. I mean, this is a first team All Big Ten player. This is an All American if he does this more consistently. And then number three, me and everybody else across the internet will shut up. There ain't shit we can say when he
Mhm.
approaches a game like that. And I just, like, as a viewer, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Jeremy Fears experience in this game for like the first time in a year.
That means a lot to me.
It was
That
fun,
means
man.
it was a lot of fun, man. Getting to the basket, laying it up, transition, pushing it. Um, eventually getting it to a point where we broke Indiana's will. They didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah. Let's
That's the
get to
one.
that.
Listen, and credit to them. They stuck with it, right? They got out to a little bit of an early lead. Michigan State takes a 7 point lead at half. I think they tied it up at 51-51. And then I don't even know what the run was from that point, but I know Michigan State went on like a 17 or 19-0 run. My apologies. And yeah, we broke their spirit.
Yeah. So I would like to get to that point in the game in a moment. And the run was crazy. That was probably the best stretch of Michigan State basketball this year for sure. I know there
Hmm.
were a lot of good moments last year. In a lot of ways, this felt like a last year game to me,
Hmm.
where, you'd hit that point midway through the second half every game, and it was just Michigan State time. And last year, the explanation for it was you wore teams down, your depth, your guys were always fresh. It felt like you were playing 9-on-5, and no team could sustain it for 40 minutes. This year, it's a little different, and Fears and Cohen both played 30 and 33 minutes in this game. And, you didn't go super deep into the bench. You played 8 guys double figure minutes. Then your ninth guy was Denham.
Hmm.
So this was not like stylistically the same puzzle piece way you dismantled teams in the fourth quarter last year,
Hmm.
but the result felt a lot like that. I mean, it was crazy. This was a tie game
Yeah,
with roughly what, 12 minutes left?
probably something like that. Yeah.
And you went on, what was it, a 26-2 run?
Yep.
Insane. So, to my eye, I think a lot of the same concepts apply where the idea of like, okay, you can handle Michigan State's physicality if you're not a very physical team. Maybe you can handle it for 20 minutes.
Mm.
Maybe you can keep them off the glass for 25 minutes. Maybe you can get back in transition for 30 minutes. Who knows? You just, at a certain point, if you're not good enough, if you're not tough enough, you suffocate.
Mm.
That's what I think I saw in this game. And in a lot of ways, that maps to last year Michigan State. It's just without the depth component added to it. So what's your explanation? Why did it go from a tie game to a 26-2 run?
Because I know it's a stupid like catchphrase for Michigan State, but it truly was a classic rendition of defend, rebound, and run. That's really all it was. Like we were forcing turnovers, we had active hands, we rebounded the basketball, destroyed them on the glass, by the way. Good call by you. I said they would I'll read them by 10. You're like, nah, if it goes according to plan, though, I'll rebound damn near 20. I'll
18
rebound I,
rebounds.
I'll rebound them 37 and 19 in this basketball game. That's really all that run was to me. It was defend, rebound, and then run and get out. And you get the car dunk, you get the layups by Fears. You get those moments, it forces timeouts, things like that. Now shots start falling. Jordan Scott had some shots go down. Kurt Tang had some go down as well. Jackson Kohler, once again, haven't mentioned him yet on here, but once again, 16-10, double double, wakes up, gets one. Awesome. Thank you, Jackson. But it really was just classic defend, rebound, and run for Michigan State. And uh, Indiana wasn't ready for that. Indiana looked lost offensively. They really didn't know what to do. The shot clock kept getting down under 5, and they were getting shot clock violations. They were just all out of sorts at that point, and they needed guys to make shots. And really, all it was Lamar Wilkerson making shots. Maybe this game's a little different if Robin shows up. I think that's what we referred to him as, Tucker DeVries, but I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
So they didn't have enough.
Yeah, Lamar and Tucker, we can get to in a moment. I thought for the first, again, 28 minutes of this game, they did everything they could do to keep Indiana in this game.
Mm,
Um, they didn't shoot great, even Lamar included. He went 5 for 11 from three, but only 6 for 14 overall, 19 points on 14 shots. I think is a result with Lamar that you feel you did pretty good on Lamar, honestly, even if he popped off a little bit early. He's had 30-point nights. He's had more prolific nights than this, as crazy as that sounds. So you did a great job on Tucker. We can talk through schematically what went right for Michigan State on those things, but it's one of those things where the ask of those two every night is going to be really difficult for Indiana. And this is maybe a sign of things to come. Not saying there are teams as tough as Michigan State, either defensively or on the boards or whatever. They probably did as good of a job as any team will do. However, just in terms of like still trying to figure out what this Indiana team is, I think I know what they are. They're two superstars and then a bunch of guys who are going to be completely overwhelmed and piss themselves against good opponents. And
right.
that's going to make it really hard on Lamar and Tucker because, like, the two mismatches in this game were the front court. Alexis and Bailey got nothing. First time this year, I think Indiana didn't get a good game from one of those two. Normally,
Mhm.
it's one or the other. You got neither in this game. And then the backcourt just, I think it's all credit to Fears. But, I mean, Connerway did have 9 assists to 2 turnovers. Connerway had 5 points on 5 shots, and I just thought looked ineffective.
Mhm.
And Enright, anytime Enright was switched onto Fears, or if that was the matchup for whatever reason, Jeremy Fears took that shit personal.
Yeah, he's like, there's no way that this is it. Like him, no, that ain't happening. What it is for Indiana too, they need the two stars to start every night. Otherwise, they really won't win. And look, Tucker's a guy that's 15-5 this year. He's sub 40% from the field. He's only 32% from three. I mean, over the last couple of games, he's had games of 8 points, 6 points, 5 points. He has 9 points in this basketball game. He needs to figure it out if this Indiana team's going to go anywhere. Like give him a real shot.
Well, and the other thing that's happening, which I think will apply in a lot of games going forward, he won't have as tough of a matchup as this guy pretty much any night, but he's playing the four full time on an Indiana team in a league that has gone too big basically across the board.
Right.
Like when Tucker DeVries plays Purdue, he's going to get Trey Kaufman run.
Hmm.
Trey Kaufman rebound, as you now call him. In this game, he got Jackson Kohler. Jackson Kohler spits out a double double. Tucker stunk.
Yeah.
Against Michigan, he's going to get Merez and Yaxel. Like against Illinois, he gets Merck. This is a problem for Indiana.
Yeah.
And it maybe in 2012 or even as little as 5 years ago, when everyone's going small, it doesn't hurt you as much. But if Tucker is going to be as inefficient as he's been, he's not hitting his threes, like you said, sub 40% on the year right now. Like he has to make them pay when he's on offense.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just sacrificing defense and rebounding. And I thought Kohler, Kohler gets a double double against anybody,
Hmm.
but in the big 26-2 run, the biggest thing that was noticeable for me, besides the defensive stops, was that anytime you missed a shot, Jackson Kohler was just busting Tucker DeVries' ass.
Yeah, he didn't want it. He didn't want it as bad as Jackson did.
Not even wanted it. I mean, I think that's true too. But like, it was just a rebounding drill. And
Right.
Hummel spoke to it too. It's like that's the thing when you play Michigan State. Sometimes a missed shot is their best offense.
Yeah.
And like y'all love that. Y'all literally are trained to get after it like that.
Mhm.
Like shit, a shot on the rim is a good thing because Jackson Kohler will go get it.
Right. And that's I mean, I can not to do the whole like, when I played, that shit's frustrating. That shit's frustrating when you get a stop and you can't get a rebound.
Yeah.
It weighs on you. So, um, yeah, and I mean Jackson Kohler versus Tucker DeVries in a rebound drill. That's just not going to go Tucker DeVries' way.
Yeah, it's a tough ask of him, right? Like even if Indiana was making their best effort, which I don't think was true, but if they gave a concerted best, let's get after it game, Tucker is still going to lose that battle every possession. So,
Yes.
and that's to be clear, that's Darren DeVries' formula.
Right.
Darren DeVries built a roster in which he entered this year saying, you know what, my son gets to play the four. He'll be an undersized four, and he'll never come off the floor. He'll play 40 minutes a game, even though he's out of shape, and we'll be fine. We'll make enough threes.
Yeah, he needs to get it right. I mean, obviously it's hard to like get it right now, but he like visibly looks out of shape.
Yeah, and look, I think, thanks to Tom Izzo, we had some interesting conversations yesterday where in the pregame Izzo said, thank God we're not playing the Indiana football team.
Mhm.
It's a football school. And we talked through it. My stance is Indiana will always be a basketball school. They're just the best football team this year. We know how much the Indiana fan base cares about their basketball. We
Mhm.
know it's been a very rocky decade. If I were an Indiana fan, just putting myself in their shoes, my biggest question coming off this year is definitely what do Darren teams look like without his son? And
Mm.
that's not even saying it's going well with his son this year. But like just in general, you hire a guy from the mid-major ranks that spent a month at West Virginia before verbally committing to leave,
Mhm.
and all his good teams have featured his son. What happens when his son's gone in a year? And like the way he built this roster was very much to showcase his son. And
Mhm.
oh, by the way, his son not living up to expectations is one of the biggest problems of this team. And his
Right.
son, more often than not, is now a mismatch problem for Indiana against the best teams in this league. So, look, I think DeVries can coach ball. I just his roster building was a disaster this year. It's a million mid-major players and his son. And I don't love. I like Prince Alexander Moody for the future, but I'm just pretty skeptical DeVries is going to know what to do in a post Tucker DeVries era.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the same thing when Ben McCollum loses his son. I wonder what I was gonna do.
And it starts.
Yeah.
I do got to say, even as your rival, I am loving this bit of, oh, it's a new head coach. Come on down to Breslin.
Does Minnesota play at the Bres this year?
No, you guys go to the barn, but
Okay.
so
Well, next year I got something for Nico.
let's go through this last year. I mean, last year, welcome Danny Sprinkle, 34-point win at the Brez.
Mhm.
Who else was new last year?
Dusty.
Dusty, yeah. Dusty, 17-point win at the Brez. This year, you've got Indiana and Iowa already spankings. And coming up, you have Buzz Williams, January 24th, first year head coach.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, man, I think this is a fun trend. I do.
Just a little introductory little spanking.
Yeah. Well, okay, it's you're being indoctrinated. It's your baptism.
Yeah, a little tap tap tap.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You guys are father aunt, and
Father Ann's getting way too much love on this
Aaron
show, dude.
DeVries is me, I guess.
That's crazy.
What did we spend enough time on Fears? I kind of feel like I just want to keep talking about how good Fears was for 20 minutes.
I will. Let me ask you this. Now we know what this looks like. Like this is the standard, right? Like I'm not saying I'm expecting to spit out 23, 10, and 4 with like two steals a night, but like he can do this. I feel like there was doubts that wondering if like he could even do this.
I might have crossed the line on being too harsh at times with my criticisms that made it seem wrong. Because I guess a couple things for me. The way he did this, I think I've thought he is capable of.
Right.
So I don't want to say like we didn't think he could do this. I think the reason I've been so harsh on him is my belief he could do this.
Hmm.
And it's so damn annoying and frustrating to me he chooses not to.
Right.
He didn't do anything unsustainable at all in this game, other than attempt the threes, but the threes didn't go in. Like the buckets he scored in this game are there for him all the time, I think.
I do too. Yeah, I agree.
So I
And we need it too because we'll get to some of the negative parts of this game that I do want to speak on. But um, we need Fears to be aggressive and to score the basketball. And I think his best trait is getting to the basket. And what you were able to see in this basketball game is he can finish.
yeah,
He could finish. He could play aggressive, and he could still get to the foul line without just seeking to get there.
yeah. What's he at? He's at 88 points in his last 5 games, so that's roughly is that like averaging 17 or 18 a game?
Something like that.
Not a math podcast, but yeah, dude, that was just the best game of his season, arguably the best game of his career. I think definitely the best game of his career, and I hope it happens more. Do you think it will? Like, is this a he turned the corner, now this is who he is moment, or is he going to revert back to the frustrating floppy Fears next game?
I want to think that it is. I'm gonna go glass half full and think that this is what he can do moving forward.
Okay. I am kind of expecting him to revert back to the norm. I don't know.
Maybe like revert backs. Like every once in a while you got to scratch that itch. You know what I'm saying? Like every once in a while, but for the most part,
Yeah. I mean, the next 4 game stretch is a good stretch to continue just dominating because you got Washington, Oregon, Maryland, Rutgers.
yeah.
So there's no reason he should need to do any extra shit at this point. Just hoop.
Right. Yeah.
And just if he
Exactly.
hoops to this level, it's all American good. If anything, my takeaway from this Fears game is future Fears.
Mm.
Because
How
I
so?
think I think senior Fears just does this every game.
And it's just like an All-American.
Arguably, maybe even like does more than this every game.
Mm.
Like what is senior Fears going to average 20 and 10? like like
Could.
you have 2 more full seasons of this guy.
Yeah.
As long as you keep him. But
Long we keep him, but yeah,
crazy.
truthfully.
Really annoying, honestly.
I would be annoyed.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm shaking. I'm terrified. Yeah.
Let's see here. You want to talk about the bench?
I got one more Fears question.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if this is fair to ask or not, but I'm hoping you deem it fair. How much of this was that part of this game was just he looked up and saw Connor Enright?
Well, I think a good portion of that is I think it played a factor.
I mean, Connerway's been very good, so I don't want to take away like, oh, you punk Tate and Connerway.
Mhm.
Connerway's been largely very good this year.
Yeah, I mean, Conway's been largely good. Enright's feisty, I guess, is what you would give him the tag of. It's like he's like the buzzball version of Sam Hoiberg, but like not. So I do think a part of it did, but also like I feel like a lot of the things that he did too were like just like transition type things.
Yeah,
Like just instead of like I'm looking back at the Penn State game, I was like, why are you pulling it back out? Just go lay it up.
yeah,
Like go lay it up. You can go make a layup. And I feel like he did that in this game.
yeah. What do you have? Like 13 of your first 16 points or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had
I mean, and it
19
was early.
first half.
He was kind of dominating the portion of the game too, where you hadn't created the separation yet.
Right, because we aren't getting shit from anyone else.
So you kind of needed this to carry you. And then after the game, Kohler was like, "Yeah, Fears just, I mean, he would not let us down. Like he wouldn't let
Right.
us lose this game." So, um, and then yeah, I think because Fears set the tone so early that allowed everybody else to sort of find themselves late in the game, and when everybody else got going, that's when you created the separation. But yeah, I'm just amazed. Can't believe they ever allowed Darren or Connor Enright to even spend one possession on Fears. Fears did take that personal, and I love that. There was the one play where like Enright was trying to bring the ball up, and Fears was just like all over him.
He's like, I'll take that, and he went and bang that shit.
I loved it. I feel bad for players that have to deal with Jeremy Fears that just aren't good enough to deal with Jeremy Fears. That was Connor Enright, and Connerway was fine, 9 assists and 2 turnovers, but no scoring whatsoever and no defensive resistance whatsoever. So, kudos to the floor general. That was a masterpiece, and hopefully a sign of things to come. I enjoyed every second of it. Jackson Kohler double double, only 1 for 4 from three. First time in probably 2 months that Jackson Kohler hasn't shot 50% from three, it feels like. But like we said, he just destroyed Tucker DeVries on the glass. He had more offensive rebounds in this game than any Indiana player had defensive rebounds.
That's crazy.
He's just such a
That's
good rebounder, man.
and no turnovers for Jackson in this game.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah. And the hustle play heard around the world where he dove out of bounds, saved the ball, and
Mhm.
led to a big transition bucket.
Yeah, just that dude just spits out double doubles, energy, everything. I just the epitome of like being the senior at Michigan State, taking that step. He has consistently taken that step this year, and he's become one of the best bigs in the Big Ten.
Yeah. I mean, the reality with this team, as we are watching it unfold before our eyes and sort of firming up the identity of who all these teams are, is this team is Jeremy Fears and Jackson Kohler's team.
Yeah.
I think it was billed as a big three coming in, and then I think
Mhm.
there's been times you've even alluded to it as a big four and added Carson Cooper to it. There are
Mhm.
four vets, and then there are a lot of young pieces and question marks in this group. I would like to trim it down, draw a little bit of a line. No disrespect to Coop and Cohen, who have had good moments and are good players. You've got two amazing players.
Mhm.
You've got two potential first team all conference players. You've got two guys that I think are now realizing this too in real time. Like, wait a second, there's even a difference between what I am and like kind of what these other vets are.
Mhm.
Like Kohler could very much wake up in the morning and say, "This is my team." And we'd all be like, "Yeah, Jax, it is." Jeremy Fears, of course, should wake up in the morning saying, "This is my team." These two are going to drive where this team goes. And I feel like, beyond Fears's roller coaster, Jackson is the most consistent. So he should
Mhm.
get a double double every night. He should make his threes. He's going to outplay his matchup pretty much every single night. And I applaud him for it. I didn't really envision this when the season began. We're doing like Big Ten player ranks. Michigan State was a hard one to do
Mhm.
because we didn't really know, is it going to be Fears? Is it going to be Kohler? Is it going to be Cohen? I think credit to us. I think we ended up with Fears and Kohler the highest rated when we did those exercises,
Yeah.
but I think we shortchanged them still because if you redid that exercise right now, Cart, I think there's a really good argument that both guys belong in the top 10 players in this league.
Yeah, and I feel like the step that he took too is like last year it was a lot of he was doing this against front courts that he was bigger than, right? It was like he was able to do this against front courts that wouldn't be able to hang with him. Now it's just like a night to night basis where like he is a double double against any front court you put him up against. That's basically what it is. Like Duke's probably the best front court they played. He gave 14-7 in that game. Nebraska, good front court, gives you 19-11. He's doing this consistently to your point on a nightly basis. And it's been fun to watch, I think, too. Because I feel like there's a good amount of people, even myself, that at one point I was wondering like what is Jackson's actual future for this team? Like would it do him justice or do him a favor to maybe go down a little bit of a level? And he's just got better and better. And it's all accumulated to having a really good senior year.
Yeah, I am just blown away by the consistency more than anything. Just
He doesn't have bad games.
yeah, just to like try and frame. He's always been an amazing rebounder. He really has. And he's basically the same level rebounder that he was a year ago in terms of rebounding rate. He was one of the best in the country a year ago. He's one of the best in the country this year. That doesn't need to change and hasn't changed. His turnover rate's actually dropped a little bit from a year ago, which is good. But, in general, the two things that have improved for Jackson from last year to this year, beyond just a bigger role and the team wanting more from him, are the 3-point shooting. He's gone from like a low volume 37% 3-point shooter to a ridiculously high volume 52% 3-point shooter, 12th nationally in 3-point shooting right now. It's ridiculous. And then the scoring consistency, like you would think a guy who so much of his scoring volume right now comes from three. I
Mm,
think you would kind of think that scoring would come and go a little more than it does. I
right.
looked this up just to make sure I'm not crazy. Jackson Kohler has scored in double figures every single game this season.
Yeah.
He has 17 straight games this year, scoring 10 or more points. To end last season, he was in a big role. To end last season, he scored in double figures one of their final 8 games.
Hmm.
The change here is so ridiculous. If there was a most improved player award in college basketball, I think he would get my vote right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, truthfully, it's been great to watch, and it just like you said, just a face of consistency. Every night is double figure points. Every night is double figure rebounds. It's really what it is.
Well, and I guess the reason, if you are trying to define why he's so consistent as a scorer this year, it is because a lot of his buckets are just offensive rebound putbacks.
Yeah.
And
Truly,
no one can
like
keep him off the glass.
like offensive rebound putbacks. He'll have a little post move every now and then like pick and pop stuff.
Yeah. And the
That's
pick
what
and
it.
pop stuff is always there. It's always open. But I don't know. Just the offensive, no one can keep him off the glass.
Hmm.
That's the only way to stop Jackson Kohler is find a way to somehow keep him off the glass. To this point, through 17 games, I don't think anyone has found an answer for that. I don't know if anyone will.
Nope.
I mean, I think the toughest matchup truly for him this year, it's got to either be TKR or Merez.
Yeah.
But I mean, just going back a year, he punked Merez in the
Right.
Michigan State Illinois game.
Right.
And what happened with him and TKR? Did he have a good game against TKR last year? Do you know?
Did he have a good game against TKR last year? I don't know.
9-4 against TKR in the home win. So
So not that, but he did have a good game against Perez, I believe, right at Champaign.
he punked Merez.
Right.
He punked Merez for sure. So yeah, jury's still out. But I guess the point is like I don't even think there's a matchup this year that you're worried about Jackson for at all. I think you just expect Jackson Kohler to outplay his matchup any given night. Like if anything, I think Purdue and Michigan fans should be the ones who are afraid of that matchup,
Yeah, for sure.
which is
Crazy to say. Crazy we're saying that in the big year 2026.
saying something for real. It is. You want to do other player stuff, or do you want a big picture thing from me? I can save it till the end, or I can do it now.
I want to do a couple more player things here.
Okay.
First, first I want to do the bench guys here. Kurtang hits three threes in this basketball game. Outside of some silly turnovers early, I thought he had some good production in this game, hitting three threes that we needed. Jordan Scott has a really good game in 21 minutes off the bench. If I'm not mistaken, that's got to be almost a season high for him in minutes. He gives you 11, 3 and 2, three threes. He's now up to 50% from three-point play or from three-point range, I think, in Big Ten play, if I'm not mistaken. I got to double check that, but like I think he's like 9 for 18 so far in Big Ten play. And that gets me to my next point here. I had somebody text me this morning actually and said, "When do we have the discussion that this team is better when Cohen Carr is not on the floor?"
Do you want to have that now?
Cohen Carr played 31 minutes yesterday and gave you 6 and 3.
Wow. I know Izzo gave him praise for this at the podium. I was pretty shocked he gave him praise for this. I thought while losing track of Lamar Wilkerson a good amount too.
Against Nebraska, he gave you 2 and 6.
Hmm. It's not
And
working.
he's playing, it's just not working. It's not, the dunks are great. Everything is great. He kills the half court offense. He gets lost defensively. And I mean, straight up in 31 minutes, he gets you 6 and 3.
Yeah, it's not working. But I think, as twisted as this sounds, you might disagree. In a weird, sicko, honest way, I think you want quiet nights from Cohen because,
So I'm not even asking for like big nights from Cohen. I think I'm asking for maybe a cut in minutes.
yeah, I hear you. And I think that's probably the right answer. I advocated a month or maybe a week or two ago that the ideal version of this team, or maybe not this year's team, but the ideal version of Cohen is just the role he played last year.
Mm,
Be an energy guy, six man that plays 20 minutes and gets your loud, wow, spectacular moments. Do not be a guy that is relied upon every possession because he's too inconsistent defensively. And he just flat out, respectfully, he doesn't have an offensive game.
yeah, zero.
And it's not coming because he's 3 years into this and it's not coming. So, um, the problem with the Cohen conversation in terms of changing his role is I don't think there is that guy off the bench. I know you guys think it's Jordan Scott, and Jordan played good in this game. If Jordan does continue to make threes, then we can have the conversation. That's about where I'm at with it.
Mhm.
On the year, he still hasn't made threes. He's starting to. I think in conference play, he's like above 40%.
I think he's like 50% in conference play.
So maybe that's the argument. Maybe it's, hey, he's turned the corner. He's already shooting better. We should go to it. But I think there are ramifications to going down that path.
Yep.
If I were Tom Izzo, I wouldn't want to do that. Just respectfully. I mean, we are we allowed to be transparent and call it what it is here?
Yeah.
Cohen got offers. Cohen got tampered with. There were teams that wanted Cohen Carr this summer.
Hmm.
Michigan State had to keep him.
Yeah.
They did. Credit to him. The same week or two where guys were in flux. And Cohen's not the only one. There were teams trying to come in and poach Michigan State stars very similarly to how Will Wade poached Trey Holloman. And
Hmm.
Izzo was able to keep everybody besides Trey. And, you know, Cohen, it's good that Cohen is in green and white, of course. If you did do anything drastic here, Cart, to Cohen's role, you really put yourself at risk of that this summer. And
Like him. Like, oh, you talking about like him leaving?
yeah, and I know Michigan State fans are gonna hate me for saying this and just flat out disagree. Like, oh, Cohen would never leave us. That's you guys think no player is ever leaving you. I get it. You're usually right, by the way. Like, nobody does really want to leave you, and when they do, it's front page news because of how shocking it is. Um, I don't think you can go from like calling this guy a star. Hey, it's his final year here. It's him and Fears and Jackson to like admitting in January he's not good. We're gonna play Jordan Scott over you.
Hmm.
I think if you do that, you probably just lose Cohen Carr. I don't know why Cohen would sign up to come back to a team that admits it's not working.
All right, so let me walk you through the scenario in my head. Cohen's role's reduced a little bit. That's all. Like not 30 minutes. So last year we probably played like what, 25, 24?
I think he played like 20, dude. Your whole team played 20 last year.
Yeah, I guess so. A little bit different. So a little bit more because we don't have the depth that we had last year. But maybe it's more so down to like 24, 23 minutes a game.
You still
Uh,
start him?
yes, I think you still start him.
I mean, as the major thing to me is just don't take him out of the lineup.
No, I think you start him. I just think that you find more minutes elsewhere for maybe another guy, just here and there to see what it looks like, to see if we get some production. And then like, here's the thing for me. Worst case scenario, he doesn't like that and he leaves. Is am I gonna am I like darn?
I hear you, and
I will miss Cohen. I love Cohen, but like, yeah, I would miss him. It would suck. I hope he would stay, but
I
yeah.
hear you, and I appreciate your honesty. And I think, given the fact that you guys have survived the great Jig departure, I think you know that you can emotionally handle losing a beloved role player, right? You'll be
Mm,
fine. You have some very talented players coming in. At the same time, no one wants to go down that path, Cohen included. So you don't need to. Like you can do what you're asking for here. Keep him closer to 22 minutes a game instead of 30
mm,
without making any drastic changes. Now, the hard part to this is you have to have guys on the bench that deserve it.
right.
And I understand Scott had a good game. I understand Scott is 9 for 18 from three in conference play. If this holds, great. There's your answer. Izzo has been very direct about Jordan Scott in post-game press conferences. He's repeatedly said, I've been thinking about starting him.
Mhm.
I think he's talking about starting him at the two. So there might be some different positional things going through Izzo's mind with this, but um, I think it's still hard, Cart, because outside of Scott, I don't think anybody else on your bench is good.
Yeah,
Kurtang is actually very good. I don't even view him as a bench guy. He should be in the starting lineup right now.
right.
So you've got seven guys. You've got the starting five with Divine in it, plus Scott and Tang. And I think Cam Ward will continue to get opportunities too. But like really, without Trey Fort being even an option, it's kind of hard to take minutes away from Cohen. It just is. Like you
Yeah,
have to give those 8 minutes to somebody else, and they're probably all going to. I don't even. There's a chance more of those minutes go to Denim Wojcik if you do that.
right.
You know?
Yeah, it's just I mean, because it was just, I mean, when I received the text this morning, I was just like, damn, Cohen has like just spit out like 6 and 2 in 30 minutes for us, and we just kind of brushed past it.
Yeah. I mean, in conference play, Cohen is shooting 43% from the floor, 8% from three on two attempts a game. He's shooting two threes a game, making 8% of them in conference
And
games.
he air balls every night, it feels
A-
like.
And yeah, eight points a game and five rebounds. It's not Big Ten championship contender quality.
Right. But
But the dunks though.
dunks always hit, man. The
And
dunks always hit.
he had another crazy one.
Had another unreal, like I'm telling, when he gets a free release off the line, it's dunky dunk season.
The funniest sequence of this game to me was Carson Cooper's rebound. You're up three. Cohen runs the go route,
Yeah,
and Carson throws it directly to Lamar Wilkerson
for a wide open three.
while Cohen is already leaping for the alley oop. And yeah, tie game. Also, I think that was right before the big run, but just that was a great Cohen Carr sequence of what I think is the problem here. He is a one trick pony, and that's all he does. He's very good at sprinting baseline to baseline. He gets in the way of everything else, and in a weird Illinois way here, it's the same conversation we're having about Stojakovic. Now, to be clear, Stojakovic is way better. Stojakovic is a bucket.
Hmm.
Stojakovic would be great for y'all. But this idea of like, what is the right fit for our stars?
Hmm.
Stojakovic largely gets in the way of what Illinois is trying to do with Wagler.
Right.
Cohen gets in the way of a Fears and Kohler team.
Hmm.
Because Cohen is on the court, teams can double Kohler every touch.
Right.
Kohler has not had a second to breathe inside the 3-point line this entire season because teams don't respect Cohen Carr, the basketball player.
Right.
When Jeremy Fears drives, half the time there's contact on his drives because Cohen Carr is on the court with him.
Hmm.
So, yeah, and I think that's just not going to change. Not saying there's not a role for him. And the transition stuff is special. All as much as he hurts the half court, he's the whole entire transition offense. But it would be easier to stomach all this, I think, if he was better defensively too. What do you think of the job he did on Wilkerson?
I thought there was moments where his teammates helped him out when he was lackadaisical. I even heard Humble point it out. He's like, that was a great job by Jackson Kohler right there, hedging out because Cohen fell asleep for a second.
Yeah,
Did you also notice for like the first three possessions of this game, they had Carson Cooper on Wilkerson?
yeah, I did.
I was waiting for the text from you.
They must think Coop is like positionless.
Yeah, they do. And they're gonna put Coop on Wagler this season or something like that.
Honestly, credit to him for making it a serious option. Like Coop is very impressive defensively, and when they flipped him onto Tucker, I thought he did a great job on Tucker. But it was humorous, that's for sure.
It is funny stuff.
But Cohen just is it fair to say he's a bad defender?
Yeah. Yeah, I think highlight blocks and things like that cover up for the fact that he's a bad defender.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think he's a bad like if you like put him on the court and his man's bringing it up and you're like Cohen check him. I think he can do that. But the minute they pass it and like they run off a screen or go off a screen or something like that, he just cannot do
Yeah.
the right thing.
It's a processing thing. Now, at the same time, he was 2 for 4 in this game. He didn't force bad shots. He made his 2 free throws. So, like, I weird enough, I know this is 30 minutes of like really low production. We've also seen worse Cohen games. Like,
Yeah, I mean the 2-4 against Nebraska, 2-3.
and I think this is not a defense of him. It's not. I agree with you. Michigan State would be wise to play with other options. If he's gonna play 30 minutes, if I'm a Michigan State fan, Card, I think it's a good thing if he finishes with limited production
Mm,
because that means Fears and Kohler are doing things.
okay, I hear you on that.
Like if Cohen's going to play 30 minutes and shoot 11 times, that's probably terrible offense.
That's very true. Also, maybe theory here too. Fears likes playing with his boy.
I could see that.
Yeah, Fears likes playing with his boy.
And look, I it's almost one of those things like we know what we're signing up for Michigan State. Like we want him out there for the threat of transition. He
Hmm.
definitely helps Jeremy push the pace the way we want to.
Hmm.
And it's like, it's like I keep going back to NFL, but it's like the receiver who demands double coverage.
Yeah, it's like or it's just like the receiver that's so fast that you have to have a safety over the top.
Yeah.
It's like what rookie year JMO was. Like he
Yeah.
couldn't run a route for save his damn life or do anything else to save his damn life. But like you had to have a safety over the top because he would just sprint past you.
I hate myself for the comp I'm about to make. It's like the game where Justin Jefferson goes one catch for 12 yards and 2 targets. And then Jalen Naylor and Jordan Addison each go 7 for 100 and 2 touchdowns. And you're like, Justin Jefferson stinks. Like, no, he helped. He provided value even though we were throwing the ball to other guys. I guess that's the best defense of Cohen is when he's out there in transition, you have to worry about him. and it opens things up for other guys. But that doesn't work in the half court at all because he just gets in the way of everybody.
Yeah. Also, you just called Cohen Carr Jettas.
I know, I hate that.
It's okay.
I hate that. If we are floating potential Cohen Carr solutions, I would point out this. Y'all got screwed by the Caleb Glenn injury.
Yeah, that like also like we don't talk about this enough. Caleb Glenn basically eviscerated his knee in a workout on air.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't like a first practice of the year freak at. No, this dude was going against a chair and his leg disintegrated.
Yep.
He would be so helpful for this basketball team.
Yeah, I think he'd probably just start at the two.
Yeah.
And you'd be like really big and physical and defensive and shoot, but also like then you could slide him down when Kerr's in and he takes Cohen's minutes. And I guess in a weird sicko way, back to your future looking hypothesis here, there's a world next year that Caleb Glenn starts at the three.
Yeah.
There's a world next year you go Jeremy Fears, Josiah Jervis, Caleb Glenn, and then front court.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That team would have more shooting. It would still have the size and toughness you want. So, yeah, I think if we look at like what's missing from this roster, it's hard to blame Izzo because Caleb Glenn would have covered up a lot. One thing that is easy to blame Tom Izzo on, though. Hey, remember when people were making fun of me like publicly in public places for pointing out that maybe Trey Fort wasn't a good fit for Izzo?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
I'm not totally sure. And this is the only thing I have to lean back. He just doesn't like Trey Fort.
Even as a Trey Fort skeptic, I think he deserves more chances than this.
I do too.
This one felt gross to me.
Like, what do you play 1 minute?
He played 2 minutes and he didn't even get in with the walk-ons.
Yeah,
You
that's
had Cam Ward who had 14 minutes playing with the walk-ons at the end of this game after Trey Fort only got two. Um, I mean this is going through it, game logs. He's played nine, then eight, then three, then two. Might as well just not take the warm-up off at this rate. And look, he had a rebound in his 2 minutes. He attempted a three. He missed it. Picked up a foul. Izzo pulled him, said that's it. It is difficult to earn more opportunities when you're only getting 2 to 3 minutes.
right.
And I'm not trying to give this big case for Trey Fort because again, in the summer, I was the one raising red flags of like, how is this going to work? But I think he's in a really tough spot here where he feels like, this is my final year. I came here for a starting shooting guard role. Okay, I didn't earn that, but I'm still, a bench guy.
Hmm.
Oh shit, I'm not even off the bench anymore. What the hell? And
Right.
now Izzo's giving him one chance a game, go in for one opportunity. And I think he gets in and I think he presses because he's like, damn, I got 2 minutes to show that I should be playing more than this. And it's not working. It's not bringing out the best in him. It's definitely not helping Michigan State. Look, I think Fort's a disaster defensively, and I don't think he's the answer here whatsoever.
Can I add one? Can I add one thing to this where I think you're gonna go, but I want to get ahead of it right now?
Yeah,
If I'm Trey Fort, you really got me all the way messed up that you can't find me more minutes. Where I just want this known. Since Devon Ugachukwu had 23 against Penn State, he's giving you games of 2-0. He's playing 10 plus minutes in all these games, by the way. 17 minutes, 13 minutes, 20 minutes, 17 minutes, 22 minutes, 23 in this Indiana game.
right,
He's giving you two. He's giving you 0. He had 12 against Cornell. He gives you 5 against USC. He gives you 1 against Northwestern. And he gives you 2 against Indiana.
right,
If I'm Trey Ford, I'm like, all right, come on, dog.
right,
Like, come on. Like,
right,
he could do more of that opportunity.
right. But the difference is divine guards, and Trey Fort can't or doesn't. And I don't know. Izzo did say after the game, Trey Fort's time will come. So I'm not sure I believe him at this point.
That's a,
Although,
that's, that's a kiss of death.
a year ago, I'd have to look at the game logs. A year ago, Fiddler went through some similar stretches. Fiddler went from like starting lineup to almost out of the rotation to like, back at the end of the year, he's playing 15 minutes, 20 minutes a night. So I think we've seen this evolve and it could evolve back in Trey Fort's favor. But I think you're right. If I'm Trey Fort, I'm very frustrated. I certainly at least feel like I should be getting, 5, 6 minutes a game instead of two. Give him enough real run to like play a real sequence. Right now, you're putting him in and he feels like he has to get a shot up immediately and make it. Otherwise, he's not going to see the court again. And I don't
Right.
think that's fair to him. I honestly think it would be better for all parties involved. If you're going to play him 2 minutes, don't play him. Like either give him a real 8 minute run in a game, he's part of the rotation, or he's out of it. One of the two, and I think you'll see better results. Um, if I'm Trey, you're right. I'm looking at what Divine's doing right now. Like, this is insane. Like, okay, I get it. He had 20 against Penn State. When you gave me real minutes, I had 14 against Cornell. I had 13 against Kentucky.
Right.
And I know it's not all about offense, but the real reason for this, which makes sense the more we think about it, and maybe I did a bad job of laying out why in the offseason when people were upset with me for this take, but the truth is this. When you play for four different coaches in 4 seasons prior to coming to Tom Izzo, there's no possible way that you'll be able to learn how to do Tom Izzo things quick enough.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. And if you play for one coach, right? Like if you're a guy that's been at the mid-major for 3 years and you've got 1 year left, but at least you've played for one coach and gotten better and better, and hopefully that coach runs something similar to what Izzo demands from his teams.
Right.
It's easier. It's easier to teach a guy who's like, this is how I know basketball. This is how you know basketball. Trey Fort doesn't even know basketball. Trey Fort has played for 3 losing programs and Samford is not a losing program. They win games, but it's a gimmick. It's a
Again, that's what it's it. He played for a gimmicky basketball coach, and there's a not less gimmicky basketball coach than Tom Izzo.
But he played for a gimmicky basketball coach a year after playing for like a mediocre team that runs different stuff than that, a year after playing non-division one basketball, 2 years after playing at a school that was terrible. Like there's been no consistency. Whatever he learns 1 year is thrown out the door the next year.
Hmm.
And that's how you've learned how to play the game. Like no shit, you're going to be clueless defensively.
Right.
So I just think that's what this is. The basketball player that Trey Fort has become through 7 years of 7 different coaches is not going to be moldable into what Tom Izzo wants. He just
Right.
doesn't have that ability. And Tom has to come to terms with whether or not that's valuable for this team or not. He appears to have decided it's not. I think I would disagree with him. I think Fort still deserves 8 minutes on this team, but also, Cart, you're winning these games by 21. So can we even really push back on what Izzo's doing?
No, I guess not. Well, we can because we just did, and we're fine. We're fine for doing it. So actually, yeah, we can.
I think there's a pretty simple fix here, though.
Talk to me.
Start Kerr, play Divine the backup point guard minutes, the minutes that are currently going to Wojcik for backup point guard go to Fort as the backup shooting guard.
I feel that.
A very simple flip. Wojcik's played 5, 3, 7, 5, 12 his last 5 games. Just give those to Fort, tack him onto the 2, 3 minutes he's playing. Fort plays 8 minutes a game. You solved the Denim Wojcik problem. Divine is your backup point guard. And by the way, Kurtang, who's been really sneaky good for a month,
Right.
re-enters the starting lineup.
Right. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Did you see Ford at the end of the game? I saw Jackson Kohler's dad was tweeting about it a little bit.
No, what?
You really don't know about this?
Well, at this point, by the end of the game, I couldn't feel my body.
You're so happy?
No, I was sick. I was dying.
Oh.
Barely made it to the end of this game.
Oh boy. I didn't know it was
Yeah,
beating you
so
last night.
yeah, so when they went up, when they went, I think when the walk-ons checked in, maybe like with 2 minutes left, I just went to sleep.
Mm,
So
mm.
what happened?
So let me pull up Jeff Kohler's tweet real quick.
Oh, my dog trading addicts.
Yeah. Um, he was showing love as he always does, but he was talking about something that happened at the end of the game. So there was a Twitter account, Andrew Crooks tweeted at Kohler's dad and said, "Good stuff from Kohler coming out of the game at the end. You could tell Trey Fort had been unhappy with his playing time. Kohler sat down next to him on the bench, put his arm around him, and gave him some words of encouragement. Fort will have his games this year all class." And then Jeff Kohler said, "I love Trey. Keep throwing love his way." So perfectly good, awesome family interaction there. I didn't notice it on the broadcast, but I guess others did. That Fort looked frustrated at the end of this game. Now, I think we've talked about it a little bit. Fort's handled this year really well.
Hmm.
Given all that has happened and what was expected of him, I think he has been a visibly amazing teammate. So good on him. If this did happen, I don't think you can blame him. Again, dog, he played 2 minutes in a 21-point win, while Divine Ugachukwu had 2 points and 1 assist in 23 minutes in the starting lineup. And you played as many minutes as the Walton twins.
Yeah, it gets to a certain point.
And you didn't even go in with the Walton twins, right? Like at that point, that's a message being sent if you're not even getting to play the garbage time minutes after not being in the rotation. So I don't know if it's doghouse or what, but apparently people noticed this was the first game where he was visibly frustrated on the bench. So is that a concern to you at all? Do you stand with Trey Fort being frustrated?
I do stand with Trey Ford being frustrated for sure. Playing the same amount of minutes as Denim Wojcik. I'm watching guys that I look. I'm not saying if I'm him, I'm not like I need 20 minutes a game. But you're telling me with what's going on right now, I couldn't get out there for 10 minutes. I can't get out there with the walk-ons. That's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Free
Yep.
Trey.
Yeah. I think I'm with you. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, I know I said this at the start, but I do want to make it very, very clear. That was a belt to ass situation. Like that was an ass whooping. They didn't want to be there anymore. Reed Bailey's pushing people. Connor Enright's want to get out of there as well. They weren't ready for that.
Breslin gonna Breslin. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a weird ass whooping though. Would you didn't
yeah. It was weird because like they were down, then they get up 7 at half, and I'm like, okay, 7 at half. Take that after a weird start. Let's go ahead and push this out right away. They tied up at 51. I'm like, oh, this might be a battle down the stretch, and then we pulled the belt out.
yeah, for 3 quarters of this game, it was a I thought really fun game.
Yeah,
I'm sure it got more fun for Michigan State fans late, but like just in terms of like a watchable Big Ten game that's on, like it was a back and forth. Like Lamar was really superstarring and Fears was amazing. It was a really high level good game for most of it. When you talk about like belt to ass games, most of them aren't tied 30 minutes in.
right.
So
Yeah,
it really is kind of crazy that look like you're totally right. That was an ass whooping. It was just like a 10-minute ass whooping after like playing with your food almost, you know?
yeah. A late onset ass whooping.
Late onset ass.
Late onset ass whooping.
That's great. Can I close with my big picture Michigan State theory?
Yes.
I think I floated this a month ago and we went through a mental thought exercise of it. I think it's held true since. I also think it's what we accepted is the identity of Michigan State last year. Now, I
Mhm.
got to warn you and myself. Last year, we didn't see a wild twist coming with this theory. Do you know what my theory is?
No.
The theory is that the story with Michigan State is very simple. When you play teams that are worse than you will
Mhm.
win 100% of the time.
Mhm.
Because teams that are worse than you cannot keep up with the relentless physicality, the rebounding, the things that you just do endlessly to no avail.
Right.
When you play teams that are worse than you will win 100% of the time. You will not get upset. You have the highest floor in the country. When you play teams that are just better than
Hmm.
you can win, but it's going to be harder than most teams to like pull an upset just because of that. Like you're kind of, it's almost like, I don't want to say one trick pony, but it's like either the thing Michigan State does is effective or it isn't.
Right.
So that's sort of my theory. I think this year, you could debate if Nebraska's better than Michigan State,
I think that they are.
but they've won 21 straight games and they look like they're better than everybody right now.
Yeah. Are
So
they analytically better than Michigan State?
they're 15th nationally on KenPom. Michigan State's 13th.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's up for debate.
Yeah.
But I think if even that was a coin flip game. It feels right. Like they're
Right.
basically the same caliber as Michigan State, coin flip game.
Mm-hmm.
Duke, I think people would say is probably slightly better than Michigan State. They win by 6.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else you've played, let's just be real, you're a fringe top 10 team in the country. Everybody else isn't. And you've worn them down and relentlessly dismantled them. So that's sort of my theory. And I think that bodes well because you look ahead. Here's games I would say you're definitively better than the teams you play: Washington, Oregon, Maryland, Rutgers, Minnesota, Wisconsin, UCLA, Ohio State, Indiana, Rutgers. That's 10 more wins from where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
That gets you 25-2 with only 4 other games on the schedule that are up for grabs. So, like, I think this is headed to like a worst case scenario 25-6 season because your floor is that high. And even a 25-6 outcome to me feels like that would require losing all of the biggest games. Now, the twist here is what I said a year ago. I think this was my same theory at this point in the season a year ago. The twist ending was that you guys were better than we thought a year ago. So when we said you only lose to teams that are better than you,
Mm-hmm.
there were only like 4 of those.
Right. Because we're a good bit. Yeah.
Last year, I thought there were like 15 of those in January. There ended up only being 4 of those.
Mm-hmm.
This year, again, I would say there's probably 10 teams in the country better than Michigan State.
Right.
But I'm starting to get some PTSD of like, I said this last year too, and it turned out Michigan State was 25-6 and a top 5 team in the country. And I just went through the thought exercise, man. If you do what I'm saying you're going to do, if you just beat all the teams that are worse than you, the worst record you could have at the end of this year is 25-6.
Yeah. I mean, projected Ken right now we're 24-7.
Right. And I don't think you're going to go 0-4 against Michigan, Purdue, and Illinois. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is my theory correct that you guys are probably more than any team in college basketball the team that cannot get got by an upset any given night? And where do you think that puts you at the end of the year?
So I do think that is the case. I like the read on that. And then I think you said this. Check me on it if you're wrong. When you do play teams better than you, it's more of a coin flip, right?
Um, I think teams that are better but similar, like in the same bucket as you, coin flip. I do
Mm.
think there's a world you run into a team that's just definitively better than you.
Like, yeah, I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I think it's definitely fair to say. And if that's the case, then
Not many.
yeah. Also, if that's the case, I mean, there's a world where if shit lays out correctly, you could get to Elite Eights. You could get to places. You get the Final Fours. Honestly, if shit lays out the way you want it to,
Yeah.
you can get there.
There are absolutely March results situations here where you don't play a team that's better than you until a
See,
Final Four.
to your theory last year,
Yeah.
uh, we get to Elite Eight, we play Auburn. Auburn was the second best team in the country.
Right.
It came to a halt.
Right.
So
Now, last year there was the stretch. Even though we thought this was true last year.
that stretch at the end of the year was insane. But also that was here's a theory, or here's what added to the theory last year was also like Jace being special.
No, I was going the other way. Last year you had the dry stretch in February where you lost to USC and UCLA and Indiana.
Mm,
You lost 3 of 4 in the middle of the year, in the middle of me having this theory like you can't lose to teams worse than you. So, obviously, and teams get got. It's January, I'm saying, but I just thought this was a great result of it, right? Like Indiana's probably an NCAA tournament team. They played well for 30 minutes, and then y'all just cut the water off because You don't stop. And
Yeah.
at a certain point, the team that doesn't stop, if Michigan State's better than you can't keep up with it for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Fair.
Got to be fun to be a fan of this team.
It is pretty fun. It is pretty fun, I will say. The last 2 years of Michigan State basketball have been very refreshing given the previous years.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Any final words?
Is Indiana a football school?
No,
Okay, that's the last words for me.
but Indiana fans are on watch.
Doctor, Dame, Quentin, Belt. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Candy stripes used to mean something. Go ahead and pull them things down. Get belted.